Hey YouTube, Coppersan here. The balance update that I've been covering over the past few videos went live earlier today in MapleStory Korea and the test server was officially closed. So I quickly hopped onto the live servers to check out some of the changes, and we're starting off with some good news and a correction to a previous video. There's great news for all Luminous mains. You no longer need to lie down because your 4-job grinding skill Reflection has been saved. In the test client, the skill was changed to spread instead of bounce, upsetting basically every single Luminous main. And if there's one class you don't want to make angry with its anger management issues, it has to be Luminous. So Nexon thankfully saw the error of their ways and changed Reflection again with today's live server update. I just got to 4-job and this is what Reflection looks like right now. Yeah, it went from really bad to giga buffed, and this is the live server, so we are getting this as well with the Ignition update at the end of this year. I don't even have the range increase hyper skill passive for Reflection, so this isn't even its final form, it will still hit even more. It really does seem that MapleStory is evolving into this game where every skill will basically insta-clear the entire map. The range of this attack is just that crazy. I predict the next class will have a mobbing skill that will just wipe out the entire map across every single channel on the server that you're in or something crazy like that. There also was a change to how you enter equilibrium mode with this live server update. Once you balance your light and dark mode, you usually enter equilibrium mode. Now in 3rd job, Luminous learned a new toggle skill that when turned on will block you from going into equilibrium mode as long as you don't use Dead Side or your Ender skill. This way you can stay in one mode, either light or dark, forever. If the skill is not toggled on, you'll switch between light, dark and equilibrium like you'll do right now, so you fill up your bar and boom, you're instantly in equilibrium mode, then you switch to the next one. That's pretty convenient, I gotta say. Also, your Dark Meteor will now just keep going regardless of like if there's terrain or not. It will just keep moving forward and will keep dealing damage. It's actually really nice. Also, I have to make a correction on what I said in a previous video. I mentioned there was an increase in damage for Kaiser's Blade Burst skill, and while this technically was true, Blade Burst actually attacks twice. You get like one hit when the sword is coming down and there's another hit when the explosion happens. So it's 2 separate attacks with more lines in total. But now in MapleStory Korea, it's just 1 attack. I still think it's a nice improvement, but just a correction that is sort of like it's an increase in damage, but you also lost a bunch of lines, so technically, not really. So I was live on the test client last Tuesday checking out some of the changes, including nerfs to the Fire Poison Mage. So now for all Explorer Mages, the buff in final damage from Infinity will cap out at 115% additional final damage, which is a bit less than what it was before. Their 3rd job passive, Elemental Reset, now also boosts their final damage by 10% less. And I also compared the new range of their Poison Region skill. This skill is a place down that spreads poison that can then be exploded when any fire-based skill comes in contact with it. This skill now spreads less far. The explosions do a bit more damage, but the amount of lines that this skill does also was reduced. So overall it's a net negative, dealing less damage and decreasing the range of this skill. I think the impact of this nerf mostly depends on which map you're grinding in on your Fire Poison Mage. Smaller maps are still absolutely fine, but if you're grinding in bigger maps, this will affect your grinding speed. I also checked out Kinesis, who was one of the mages fortunate enough to actually get a buff. Nexon seems to be kinda targeting me today because I main Shade and I used to main Battle Mage and both of these classes got nerfed. But hey, at least Kinesis got some buffs. They have about 15% more final damage from their passive. That giant meteor-like skill with a hitbox smaller than my regular attacks now actually only costs you 2 psychic points instead of 5, making it pretty spammable. It's just too bad that it barely hits anything. And Kinesis can now defy gravity even more with a new boost in his up jump. Also, just a quick question, are kids in the real world in MapleStory really small, or are those doors just freaking huge? Anyway, fellow school kid, just don't mind me, I'm just a regular person flying through the hallway. Totally normal, definitely no superpowers or whatsoever. Another nice change for this class was that the ultimate BPM skill will now reactivate even when you run out of your psychic points as long as you actually recover them. Just a bit more hunting convenience for this class, and it's a pretty solid change. So basically you use this skill, it will consume your psychic points if you hit monsters, but once you run out, before the skill would actually turn itself off. But now as soon as you recover your psychic points, it will just reactivate automatically, which is pretty dope. Also big thanks to Iceling Guns, who was kind enough to offer me some EXP buffs to make my grind go a bit faster. Much appreciated, make sure to check him out on both his Twitch and YouTube. I also checked out Pathfinder to see what was going on with this class. Basically, in short, hunting got improved, bossing got slightly nerfed. The first changes were for your 1st and 2nd job bombing attacks, those 2 that you will be using forever. Both will deal more damage and the amount of monsters hit has been increased. For example, Enhanced Cardinal Blast now boosts the damage of that skill by 420% instead of 300, and the number of attackable enemies was increased from 5 to 6, so a bit of a boost to your hunting. Your dash is also improved, reducing the action delay, making the skill go a bit faster. The skill triple impact though got its damage lowered from 400% to 275%, and the arrows now hit a bit more narrow angle, which is I think kinda nice, but still that's a thing that happens. That's the nerf I was talking about. But it's also good news though, because the curse debuff had its duration doubled from 15 to 30 seconds, and then now has a chance to apply a debuff regardless of which skill that you're using, which is also pretty neat. So Pathfinder's overall DPS I think was slightly nerfed thanks to the nerf of triple impact, but its mobbing got slightly improved, because I don't think you'll use triple impact that often when you're mobbing. By the way, together with removal of the sudden missions, new dungeons got added, and I finally had one appear for me. Here you just press spacebar at the right time to get huge amounts of EXP. It's actually a pretty nice dungeon EXP wise, it's very chill, but it does only appear every like 5th or 4th portal I believe, so it will reward you for grinding longer. So this update actually includes some pretty big changes, with most 4-minute cooldown burst skills turning into 2-minute cooldown burst skills. Hero is looking really good right now in MapleStory Korea. There was a change to its Raging Blow as well, lowering the amount of hits the skill does, but increasing the damage of it. The range of this attack was also increased by about 14%, making grinding a little bit easier. Heroes just never seem to struggle at the moment. I'll leave a link to the update notes containing all final changes for every class in the top comment, but just so you know, Aaron also got buffed, Mercedes got buffed, Battle Mage's bossing slightly got nerfed. There have been basically a ton of changes. Just keep in mind that what you're about to see if you click that link is in Korean, and you'll have to use a translator like Google Translate to see the English translations. And that's all that I want to share for today. As always, many thanks to our members for making these videos possible. Thanks to Niels de Coninck, Raar maar waar, Sebastian, Hanoy, Ryalias, Terry Kim, Vareese, Mora, Wiley, Historycanon, BackSpaceOTI, Saffronyx, Anwar NHI, Ziggy Flidiot, Knifesu, Chen125, Cloudfix, Gusus Rodriguez, Froggy, Vira, Trevor, Michael Menchaka, Ratius, Justin Vale, Silvio Nato, Stevie Zhang, Afterlord_MS, ceemak, Striker Elk, Tidal Pan, Victor Sundstrom, Radical Jaws, Riser Are Gummy Bullet, Lovebird, 32655, Mathias Simonson, Mr. Narc, Lando Balavia, PC Game Life, Dante Victory, The Passenger, Martin Panzik, I'm Disappointed, Lucky Beats, Gabelek, Pedro Benedetti, Conrad Cristales, Ace Light, Ben Wolf, Max Bernhardt, Doc on a Taco Box, Muka 1017, BNB King, Scotty Flies Fast, Priscilla, Brennan Cam, Shake One, Vake Botnet, Feco, Gianfranco Calderon Canavero, Necrodart, Matthew Dev, Only, Rashid Al-Marudi, and Emperor Chat. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay safe and happy mapling!